All right, I need you to grab your math notebook. You are going to be following me online, not following me in the classroom. So whatever I'm doing right now in the classroom, you need to be focusing on this. As I looked at the pretest, you have most of the concepts down. We're going to focus on one to help you really master our standard. Okay. You are going to need this paper. If it's not at your desk, it will be on the counter. And then you'll need this paper. You will also need to grab a pair of scissors. So go ahead and pause this video and grab a pair of scissors. Once you have grabbed your pair of scissors, what you are going to do is you are going to cut on the dotted line up to the black solid line. So you're going to have 2 flaps on each side. The next thing you're going to do is you are going to take your graph paper. You are going to cut all down the black line. So if you need to pause the video to be able to do this, go ahead and pause the video. Once you have it cut out, I know that this paper says that this is where you are going to glue it, but if you notice, if we were to flip it this way, the words would not be seen. So we are actually going to flip it over, and you are going to glue your graph paper in the middle of that paper. So go ahead and do that. Once you glue your paper in the middle, you then are going to fold over the flaps on each side. Now it's probably not going to be perfect. Mine's not perfect. It does not matter. As long as you can have it flapped, and then when you open the flaps, you can see your graph paper. When you have this, you are now going to put glue on this side, and you're going to put it in your notebook. I do not have my notebook here at home, but if you need me to be able to show you that, just come and ask me. Once you've put it in your notebook, we're going to talk about coordinate planes and ordered pairs. So what you really need to know is in quadrant 1, that's really where you're going to focus for 5th grade. But I want you to be aware that there are 4 quadrants in our coordinate plane. Okay, so this whole thing is called a coordinate plane. In quadrant 1, where we are going to be, you need to put parentheses under the 1, and then you are going to put an X and a Y. In quadrant 2, you're going to put parentheses, and you're going to put negative X and Y. Quadrant 3, you are going to have your parentheses, and you're going to have negative X, negative Y. And then for quadrant 4, you are going to have negative X, negative Y. Now, X and Y are important because that's the axis lines. If you are to open up, if you're just to open up quadrant 1 and quadrant 2, you can see that quadrant 3 and quadrant 4 like make a line. So make a line across your coordinate plane, and there it should be on a line. So just make sure that it's on a line. Sorry guys, I wish I would have grabbed a highlighter. So I just darkened my line a little bit, and then what I'm going to do is just close one flap and then see how it ends on a line there, and just darken that line a little bit even more. So you should have one dark line going horizontal and one dark line going vertical. Now, this is where your X and Y come in play. Your X-axis is going to be the horizontal line, and your Y-axis is going to be the vertical line. So on your horizontal line, I need you to put X And then on your vertical line, I need you to put Y, wherever you can see it. So for me, the Y is up here at the top, and my X is over here. That way I know when I'm telling you X and then Y, or a number and then a number, you know which way to go first. Okay? Now, fill that out. Then the next important one is our origin. Okay? Our origin is right in the middle where the x-axis and the y-axis meet. This is 0, 0. Okay? So we are going to actually put 0, 0. That's our x and our y. 0, 0. Our origin, and we spell that O-R-I-G-I-N, our origin is 0, 0. And this is where you always, 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 always start. Okay? No matter where you're going. Now, like I said, you are only going to be focusing on quadrant 1. But the reason I have all 4 is so that you know that there are 4 quadrants in a coordinate plane. But we are only going to focus on quadrant 1. So everything that I say and everything you do, especially for today or if you're finishing it up tomorrow, you are going to be working with only positive numbers. Now, I don't think we are ever going to get to a negative side, but I will show you what that is just so you know. And if you're curious. So if we were going to plot on our coordinate plane, the next thing you need to know, and please write this in your notebook, is that you always run before you jump. Okay, I'm going to say that again. You always run before you jump. Think about basketball or think about track. You always have to run before you can do anything else. So that's kind of our rule. And pause the video if you need to write that down. Always run before you jump. If you'd like to pause the video with this up, you can. Always run before you jump. Okay, so that is always, always our rule of thumb. You should be writing in your notebook. Again, I don't have my notebook here, so I'm going to be improvising. Anything I ask you to write down, put it in your notebook or on top of our coordinate plane. So under your always run before you jump, I want you to put your parentheses and your X and your Y. Okay? Under your X, you're going to put always first. And then under your Y, you're going to put always last. Okay? So we always run, always first, and then you jump, always last. Okay? Now, let's think of a couple ordered pairs. If I were going to say, let's do 1, 3, and 2, 4. So when I have numbers like this, these are called ordered pairs. So together, both of them is an ordered pair. Okay? Ordered pair. Now, we're going to plot this on our coordinate plane. Okay? So first, we're going to probably need to number our axis. So we know that 0, 0 starts here. So each one is just going to be worth 1. So start by putting 1, then 2, and so on. Do it on your x-axis and your y-axis. That way, it's just a little more, it's a little easier for us to see. I got out to 8, so you should be able to get out to 8. And you see it is going to the right. Okay, so everything that is positive is going to the right. And then as you're going up, it's also positive. Okay, so each line is a number. On my y-axis, I was able to get to 11. Anyway, either way, I just want you to number your x and your y-axis. Okay, so let's go back to our ordered pairs. So I said our ordered pairs was 1, 3. And so even when you say your ordered pairs, you always say your x and then your y. Always. X, then y. Okay? You don't have to say my x is or my y is. You just say my ordered pair is 1, 3. Okay? Or my ordered pair is 2, 4. Now, we're going to plot our ordered pairs. Now, again, I always want you to remember, always run before you jump, okay? Just like we've put in our book, always run before you jump. So we need to run 1, which means we need to go over to the right 1, and then we need to jump 3. So you are going to run from 0 to 1, and then you're going to jump 3. And you're going to mark it with a little dot, or you can do a star or a square, it doesn't matter. But that ordered pair now is 1, 3. So right next to it, put your parentheses and your ordered pair. So now let's plot 2, 4. This means we're going to run 2, we're going to jump 4. Don't ever jump before you run. You might fall. You're going to run 2, so go over to the right 2. You're going to jump 4 and place your dot, or your triangle, or your square, or your star. It doesn't matter. So there's my 2, 4. Now, like I said, you are only ever going to be working with quadrant 1 with me or in 5th grade, okay? When you get to 6th grade, you probably will go over to quadrant 2 or even quadrant 3. What I mean by that is anything, it's just like a number line, okay? Everything to the right of the number line is positive. Everything to the left of the number line is negative. So when you start going into quadrant 2, you have a negative x. But we're not going to go into that, okay? We're only going to focus on quadrant 1. Quadrant 1 is always going to be positive and positive. Okay? So I would like you to find the point that has the ordered pair 7, 6. Okay, so I want you to find and plot it 7, 6. Now, here are the other ordered pairs I would like you to find. 3, 5, 1, 9, and 0, 3. Pause the video if you would need to write these down. Once you have plotted them, I would like you, if I am not busy, to come show me, because I have the answers, or find someone else that is watching the same video and see if they get the same answers. Once you have done that, you then need to go grab 2 pieces of paper. Well, it's going to be more than 2 pieces of paper. You need to grab the paper that looks like this. Okay, it's a big coordinate plane, and it says, I speak for the trees. And then you will find a bunch of things that look like this, papers that look like this, and it has all these ordered pairs. So this is going to be your practice, and it's